Welcome to 24 Days of Drops, an Animal Crossing New Horizons advent calendar that reveals a new build for a differently themed island entrance each day until Christmas. Are you ready for today's theme? Hello, and welcome to day 6 of our Animal Crossing New Horizons advent calendar. Today we are going to be doing something a bit more structured than our usual natural build, which I'm very excited for. I feel like I don't do city builds often enough, and I felt like, if we're exploring multiple themes, this is the chance to do this. Even though I did use a couple more trees than I anticipated, and I did make it a bit more overgrown than I wanted to, because you know the good old saying,
my heart is a tree.
So it's always stunning to make stuff overgrown, and I will stand by that, and I will make every single theme overgrown. Jeez, that was a mouthful. Well, I hope you are well. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope that the new week is going to bring you all the lovely stuff. Wait, what day is it for you today? It should be Tuesday for you. No, oh yeah, it is Monday. It is Monday. I actually thought of a Monday, but I said Tuesday because why else would I say the new week? But oh well, brain fog happens for all of us, even though I feel like mine might have an actual cause. Mind you, this is recorded 2 weeks ago from when you're watching this. I think I might have the virus. The bad C virus, but we shall see, because someone in my family recently tested positive, and now all of us feel very shit, so we will see. But I still really wanted to record this because I feel like I said this for the bridge as well, but this is one of my favorite builds because it is so different to all the other ones, because all the houses that we build, and also the pink. I feel like I never build in Cherryblossom season, but it's so stunning. It's so soothing watching the Cherryblossom shower thingies, the petals kind of floating in the wind. It's so stunning, and I really wanted that for this, even though in this speed build I now realize that I should have maybe not recorded while the petals are floating down, because it may look a bit strange how fast they are floating down, but that's okay. We're all here for the ambience, right? Yes, we are indeed. But yeah, I wanted to have a building to the left, and then we're going to be creating like a little intersection almost. It's very difficult to tell. It's like a big square road with like a patch of trees in the middle, and then that's going to be surrounded by different buildings and also light fixtures. I wanted to have tons of lights around the city because initially I wanted this to feel like a huge kind of cityscape type of thing with like these lights. I'm not sure if you're aware, but EJ Plays has done a build where they used tons of lights in the distance before, and that kind of what inspired me to do a build like this, even though this one is absolutely not like theirs. But it was very much inspired by that because it is a beautiful build, and I really wanted to have like all the lights. So we're going to be using some more unconventional lightings that I usually don't really use, but I felt like it would add a lot to the area and make it feel a bit more big city-esque, which is also why I put this in the evening time, because obviously we want the lights to shine bright like a diamond. And now you can see me do this weird like intersection that I talked about. So we will lay down a ton of custom pathing. That was kind of tricky to do because I wanted it to feel, I didn't want it to look like a full square and like a perfect square, so I did make it a bit uneven, even though the unevenness may not have been on purpose. But I feel like it still works, and the right side is going to feel more like a little alley market type of thing, because we're going to have some stalls there with fish, and another alley that's leading to the right, and then in the back we're going to have a restaurant. And in the front here I wanted to have a little lookout point, because I felt like you have this beautiful cityscape. Eventually you will have this beautiful cityscape and you don't have anything to view it from, so I felt like I really wanted to have a little, what is it called, a lookout point. And I also plopped the permanent ladders there so that it's it's very indicated that that's a permanent lookout point. I'm not really sure if you can see them that well, but I don't really care. And in the back, as you can see, I really wanted to have this stadium light because I feel like, I don't know, this kind of looked, I wanted this to feel like a sports type of arena kind of thing in the back here, and I feel like it really does work from afar. So I also popped those not corrugated, what is it called? Those, that fence thingy with the green on it, right? That's a word. Yes, it is. And I felt like that kind of just looked like a sports type of courtyard thingy-majigs, and I really like it. And I also I'm gonna mix the storefronts with the retro transportation stop both throughout the city, but also within buildings. So with this build, I'm also gonna have storefronts and retro transportation stops of the same color, but I felt like it made it look a bit more interesting, especially since all the storefront builds have, obviously, storefront items have the same window and they are all lit up, and then the retro transportation stops, I customized it so it looked like a window, but obviously they aren't lit, you know, they don't light up. So I felt like it really did make sense to do it this way. Hi, it's editing, aka intervention Nina here, because I had to intervene with my bullshit that I was going on about, and I had to chop it up into a smaller section. I mean, you already heard it, but obviously because I had to chop it up so much, there is lacking some audio here, and you would have been sitting here with your own thoughts, which is a very scary thing to me. So I thought I'd help you out there, you know, help you out, fill your mind with stunning things like this cursive L-shaped building that I will let the proper Nina tell you what I'm doing right now again, right? Yeah. And over to the right, I wanted to have this bigger white building to kind of balance it out. So you're going to see that we're going to use a ton of whites and pinks as well throughout. So I'm going to try and balance those throughout. I also tried to play with these floor lights, but it kind of looked odd to me. So I took them down again and decided to make this stadium thingy a bit bigger. I'm not too sure if I like what I did with that. If this wasn't something that I was going to keep, I might still rearrange it, but I do also kind of like it. So let me know in the comments below if you like it. I mean, I can't change it now because it doesn't exist anymore as I am recording this, but you know, I do kind of like it, and it makes it feel very grand. And I like the red kind of contrast against the green, which is also why I chose that color, and also because it sort of looks pinky, so that really went quite well with the cherry blossom thingies. And I also wanted to have the street light, which for some reason isn't called street light but a crossroad signal, which doesn't make any sense to me, but it's Nintendo. You know, we have retro transportation stops and we have a crosswalk signal. I can't even speak anymore, Nintendo. What have you done to it? I mean, you haven't done anything. I was never really able to speak. But yeah, now I'm doing actually the side alley that I was talking about earlier. I really like this one. I wish I had extended it a little bit more, because in the final tour, you can sort of see that there's nothing to the right of it, but that's okay. You know, this is an entrance build. No one expects this to be a finished island. And I'm also gonna be popping in those fish thingies because I like that you can press down on the fish tanks and then the lights turn on, because it makes for another very soft kind of light source, and it also fills in those stalls and makes it feel a bit more full. Because obviously I want to have a building here, but I want it to have different kinds of buildings, so different items used for the buildings, to not make it all look too same, because I feel like that makes it feel very unrealistic if you're trying to create a city, right? Doesn't really make sense to have all the same buildings. Yeah. Also, I kept in what I do to place down the retro transportation stops in the correct spot. So I drop items where I do not want it to go, because sometimes you have to angle your little character perfectly to get it in the spot that you want the retro transportation stops or the storefronts or whatever to go. And especially if you have like a very tiny space like this one up there, I feel it's a lot easier to just drop items and place items where you don't want the stuff to go, and then place it, angle yourself and place it where you want it to go, than to try 700 times until finally the Nintendo gods decides that it's your lucky day now, or your lucky minute rather, after 17 hours of you propping down the same exact item and picking it up again. Because, you know, I already have drift, so that is very difficult to keep my character in the exact same spot. I know that you can fix drift, just in case anyone wants to help me out. I know that you can fix the drift. I'm a lazy I'm a lazy personality type officially now. I'm just lazy, so I don't really feel like, you know, fixing it. And I prefer complaining about it. Thank you very much, because complaining is a lot more fun than actually fixing it. Yes, it is. But yeah, now we are finally tackling this restaurant. I really, really like this restaurant because I rarely ever use the bistro tables. I feel like I've only used them in one build before, which was on my previous island of Gnocchi, where we did this kind of little terrace area overlooking some hills, and I used some bistro tables there and for a cafe as well. But I've used them twice actually, but on the same island. And back, yeah, I wanted to have like a kind of sushi restaurant. This is inspired by a sushi restaurant that I've actually been to in my city. So they have this very nice backyard kind of courtyard area, and it's filled with this stone kind of cobblestone type of thing, and then you have those tables on top, and I really like that. And to the left, not sure if you were able to see, but I have this little gap within the retro transportation shops, and I placed a floor light there because I wanted it to look like that was the entrance to the sushi restaurant, and that's where the light is coming from the door of the sushi restaurant. So that's where I placed the floor light there, so that it makes it look like, you know, when you open a door at night and there's like this beam of light coming out. That's what I wanted that to look like. Even though the beam of light is, you know, the wrong way, it should be going from up to down rather, but that's okay. You know, we live for Animal Crossing reality and not real reality, right? Yes, thank you. And now we're finally just detailing up, I think. I mean, you know, the detailing up is going to take a while because I really wanted this to feel lived in, because I don't know, I feel like sometimes with city builds, they can look a bit bland when you don't give them enough love and, you know, attention to detail, because I don't know, I feel like if you want to build a city, it has to look lived in, because many people are living there. So I also broke up the path a little bit, which is not really a thing that makes it feel more lived in, but more abandoned. But I don't really care because I love abandoned themes. You know, we all know this by now. Again, my heart is a tree, and I feel like the more trees you use, the happier your heart will be and the fonder your heart will grow. Yeah, I know. That rhymed. Oh my god. I am such good. Anywho, yeah, we're breaking up the path with little weezy bits, and they are going to be grown in for the final tour, I think, because I did time travel a little bit, because I really like that in the springtime, the weeds kind of really match the cherry blossom season kind of trees, because they have these like very nice little white blossoming bits on them, and it looks so stunning. Not white, pink. And I also really wanted to use what are they called again? Oh my god, they are some of the topiaries. I think that's the round topiary, because they almost look like a different kind of bush, and obviously you can place them on top of custom designs. So I just felt like they added a lot more depth and detail to this thing while not being the same item, and me not having to break the path up even further, because I did want there to be a lot of road, obviously, to really go with the theme, you know. And I also had this, I was initially only going to use pink cars on this build for this island, I guess, but it was a bit too much pink, so I did exchange one of them to be the white one. But I feel like you could definitely just make it like a Kirby themed, not really a Kirby themed island, but like a Kirby color themed island, and just give it all pink cars. I would actually be really, really here for that. And I don't know, I just really like the pink car. I wish we had more items that had the exact same color that the pink car has, because it's such a soft pink. It's so stunning, and it matches the cherry blossoms perfectly, even though it's a bit over on the cooler side, so it's more like a purpley bit. And I am noticing, by the way, that I am fumbling on my words a little bit, so I apologize for that. You know, I think that also explains why I have been this brain foggy the past few days, because we're all negative until now, you know, except for that one person who started it. And today we all started to feel like crap. So I assume that we're all going to be testing positively very soon, you know, but so far tests are negative, mood is positive, obviously. No, but that is, I think, where my brain fog has come from the past few days. But, you know, as you're listening to this and watching this, the brain fog has probably already disappeared, right? It has.
Intervention time.
I feel like I should have like a jingle for this, but then I feel like the jingle will be longer than the actual thing that I had to say because I'm already running out of time to say actual stuff here. So you just got me fumbling for a bit, but trust me when I say this, it was better than anything I have produced in that voiceover. Jesus Christ, she be fumbling. But yeah, I also want to, oh my God, I nearly forgot to talk about this. The lighthouse, I feel like you could use a ton more. I really wish I would have plopped one towards the front of this build to the left of the entrance because it is so stunning and I like how the light kind of rotates. I know that it does really look like a lighthouse and it doesn't really look like anything else, but I don't know, maybe it is because the city I grew up in has a club and they cast a beam of light into the night sky at night to, I feel like, almost kind of advertise or just let people know that they are open. And you can see that from miles away, like from the next little village. And it kind of reminded me of that. So I feel like that's where the nostalgia is coming from. So technically it doesn't really make sense to do this this way. Jesus Christ, I'm really fumbling here. But we're already approaching the end of this build. Anyway, my lovely, I hope you are having a wonderful rest of your Monday, wherever you are in the world. I shall see you for tomorrow's next 7th island entrance for our little advent calendar. Take care of yourself, my love. Until then, and goodbye.